Hi, welcome back to Lotus Blossom Wellness. Today I have a special guest with me, my dear friend Kathleen Maimans. She is a registered psychotherapist. She's an owner of The Love of Attraction, where she specializes in couples therapy and offers incredible retreats in the Calgary area, Banff, and surrounding area. She has been doing this work since 2005, which is 20 years now. So the gift she brings has been so special to me. And I wanted to bring her on today to talk about what is spirit to you? And how did you come to know the wisdom of your soul from all the experiences that you've had along your journey thus far? So welcome, Kathleen.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
I love that first question about, the wisdom of my soul. And I think it really speaks to the spiritual journey and how and when it started. After a breakup that I had in my later 20s, a girlfriend of mine was seeing a spiritual psychotherapist, and she invited me to go and see her. I'd never been to therapy before. And during that process, I learned about kind of like my psychological wounds, my wounds of being left when I was a little girl by my father. But what turned me around from all that pain, that visceral pain that I was feeling, was a book by Marianne Williamson called Return to Love.
Mm,
And it was that began my spiritual journey to really help me to see and understand that there was something beyond myself. Prior to that, I was very science oriented. I mean, I could debate you that no, that none of that existed. And it's kind of funny to see myself where I am today on the opposite side of that. But there's something beyond ourselves, and we are a part of that. And so when I think of spirit, it is this intelligence, this universal omnipresence that is in me and around me and with me. And it's always been there with me, even though I don't always know that, or I forget, or I'm in so much deep hurt and pain that I'm so far away with it, removed from it. But when I come back into my soul, into my being, there is the presence, there is that ease and calmness and courage, intelligence, answers to whatever I'm looking for.
yeah, thank you. So Kathleen is also a oneness trainer. She has been doing a multitude of oneness retreats. And can you speak a little bit about that and what that means to you?
Hmm. Hmm. Uh, so the journey began with my husband, who I would say is came to me as part of my spiritual journey to help me awaken and to help me to grow and to help me to become my more authentic self, moving away from my wounded self. And he met this movement called Oneness over 10 years ago. And he had this desire to go to India.
Mm,
And I had not had that desire in me to go to India, but I did a 2 day um, awakening course with a person out in Ontario, and Robert had invited me to go to it. And in that awakening course, something opened up in me. I saw a light being. It was like something had called me to go to India. And 3 weeks later, we had signed up for this oneness course, and that kind of set both Robert and I on this spiritual path of enlightenment,
yeah.
spiritual path to become free of suffering.
Mm,
That's their version, their definition of enlightenment is that we become free of suffering. Doesn't mean that we don't suffer.
mm,
It's that we don't linger in suffering. It's that we experience pain and there's suffering, but we don't indulge in it and we don't run away from it either.
right.
So I've been to India several times through processes and initiations, and that's how I became a oneness trainer and teaching and facilitating courses for people, stress detox and other courses.
Yeah, I think you're having a stress detox coming up here soon in Calgary. What was it? What weekend is that?
It's October 4th and 5th.
Okay.
And it's a detox from, what you said earlier to me was, what was your purpose for wanting to do this? Because there were so many aspects of ourselves, right? The holistic side, there's the body side, there's the mental, emotional, there's the spiritual side. And so in the stress detox, we have different bodies and different layers. And so we cleanse through processes and this powerful transfer of grace called Diksha, that we cleanse each of these subtle bodies, the mental, the emotional, the karmic body, and the energy body, that sort of thing. So, I mean, I know you're all about energy and and all the work that you do. And so it just taps in and tunes in kind of an Eastern way
Right.
of the mystical and an Eastern way versus just something we do through mind and strategies.
Right. Yeah, because I think we live in a world in this Western culture is like everything we've been indoctrinated to know is through the mind. And be busy, do, go, go, go. And I think we're moving away from that a little bit. We're moving into, more into the heart space, letting go, going within, using your own intuition, and really grasping the knowledge that our body has, our soul has in that wisdom. That a lot of us, you and I have been on this journey for a long time together. I've met Kathleen in Canmore. Geez, it was in 2009, I believe. I've known you for that long. And you and I
Mhm,
have gone together and journeyed along the way of really, getting to know that soulful self. And it hasn't been easy,
mhm,
for sure. You and I, we talk all the time.
mhm, mhm,
And finding
mhm,
that, like for me, I always used to think it was a destination. I'm going to be better
mhm.
and I'm going to feel good and everything's going to be perfect in my life. Well, no,
Yeah,
it's not because it's the ebb and the flow. This is why when
yeah.
we do the work, we honor the aspects of our soul to look deep within, to really be able to
Mhm,
transform the wounds that we've been carrying from our ancestors, the DNA, the RNA, that sometimes it's like, why is this happening to me? Well, it's
mhm,
maybe not from you. It's
mhm,
from all that other, you know, ancient wisdom that they didn't have the courage or the strength to deal with or go through, right?
mhm,
So I
mhm,
think when we take the time to do these retreats, we take the time to meditate, we take the time to go for acupuncture or sound healing or hypnosis or, even working out, working out can be
mhm,
that
mhm,
meditative state that is
mhm,
healing our body the way that we need to every day. And that even means sometimes laying on the couch and doing nothing,
mhm.
right? To
Rest,
integrate,
relaxation. Mm,
yeah, to
mhm,
rest and really
mhm,
relax. Yeah.
mhm,
So, Kathleen,
mhm,
what started you on this healing journey? Like you said, the breakup, but was there
mhm.
anything else that was really triggering for you that made you really want to go out and keep seeking? And what keeps you seeking today?
Yeah, I mean, it was said to me in India. I think one of the first times I was there that the guide said that you became a relationship therapist at 3. Uh, that my parents had separated, and they were young and they had separated. So, unbeknown to me, I think that's when the seeking had started because that was such a rupture in my what we call our attachment system, like with our attachment figures and and that was such a rupture that kind of like that break that happened when after my dad left. So the seeking began, but unconscious to me. And so I would continue to attract people and to attract situations that were kind of like repetitive, 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 and wonder, well, why does this keep happening to me? And so when that big breakup happened in it was 1998, it was the time where my soul merged with me, and it's like, this is your wake up. This is your new trajectory into healing, and it was on all levels. And so I found myself going through imago therapy, which why I was so attracted to it was because it was called couplehood as a spiritual path.
Mm,
And
okay.
that really related to me and all the self-help books that I was reading at the time of Wayne Dyer. Um, and in that, so while I was seeing the therapist, I was also doing a lot of my acting out. So I went to party. I was kind of a binge drinker. My father was an alcoholic, and my grandmother, so it was in my system. And I went, and my therapist invited me to go to AA.
Mm,
So
okay.
this was not long after the breakup had happened, and I went into AA in 2000. And what I discovered there was the 12 steps were a spiritual foundation. And so it was the first time in my life that I really could start to feel and not be judged and not judge myself for all of these kinds of feelings that I had pushed away and pushed away and pushed down. And so there was another piece of my healing journey, reading the big book, and then getting to those the books that I mentioned around Marianne Williamson. And it just went further and further, and such that I went into a holistic program in Toronto. And then the course that really got me inspired was spiritual psychotherapy.
Ah, okay.
Spiritual psychotherapy. So I was learning things in that program in the early 2000s around our chakras, and subtle bodies and subtle energies. And then I got so interested in the relationship side of stuff that I got more training in that. And now I'm finding myself full back circle again,
Mm,
like back into doing psychotherapy from with a spiritual component. And I really believe that if we're gonna heal anything on this planet, we need a spiritual solution,
yeah.
because there's so much separation, there's so much division, there's so much agitation, that how can we solve the problems in our world if we're divisive, if we're separate, if we're um, always in pain and anger and sadness and loneliness and all of that insecurity? We need to have a kind of a calm heart, a calm mind to be able to collaborate, cooperate.
Hmm. Yeah, because if not, we're living out of our triggers, which is our wounds, right? Like Dr.
Yeah,
Gabor Mate says. I mean, he says it
yeah.
so well. If a trigger is an opportunity for us to look at the
Mhm,
aspects of ourselves, right? And so, how would you
mhm.
define psychotherapy? What does that mean for viewers that don't know what that is?
Well, I think psychotherapy is really a self-discovery process.
Mm,
It's really understanding who you are,
right.
right? What you're about, what's been the impact in your life, uh, and how you function, how you get triggered, how your patterns show up. What patterns do we need to break inside of you? It's not about managing, I think, so much about the outside world. It's around going inside and learning about yourself, because as Gandhi says, and I love this quote, be the change you want to see in the world.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. I
Right?
can speak
So
that for
it begins
myself.
with us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. It begins with us because I've in the past projected things out to other people and they're the problem but the more I dove deep into myself, I can see others for just who they are
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
and accept them for who they are and to let
Hmm.
go of the control, let go
Hmm.
of the need to want others to change the way I think they should, because who am I to say that they need to change the way I think they should? Everybody is here on their own journey.
Hmm.
Everybody is here experiencing what they need. And like you said, Kathleen, if things continue to keep coming at you and you don't like the result, well, then we need to look. deeper within. And that's the psychotherapy, or that's, the acupuncture, the hypnosis, or whatever it is for you. And some people don't want to look, and that's okay too. But
Mm-hmm. It's
I
their
think if
journey.
we want to really wake up as individuals in the collective, it starts with us, and we have to do our work
Yeah.
because
Yeah, we
everything
need to
else
do
is
our work.
just a distraction, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
heard it said from my teachers, I heard it said that you're not even on your spiritual journey until you become conscious.
Yes.
And what conscious means is you first become conscious of your behaviors.
Mm.
And
Yes.
that might be, oh, I'm sitting eating a bag of chips and I'm not feeling good in
Yeah.
that. So you first become conscious of your behaviors, and then you move into awareness, which is your state, your inner state. What are your thoughts, your perceptions? What are your feelings? What state are you in? And then you start moving up the ladder into this place of transforming yourself and awakening,
Yeah.
right? Awakening to your soul, to your heart, to something that's bigger and beyond you. It's kind of like that's the path that we're all on this journey. And there's many variations to how we get there.
Yes, absolutely. There's definitely not one way. It could be
No.
so many different ways. And I think we just got to start. And I think what
Yeah.
you taught me, Kathleen, was like you used to always tell me you need to love yourself more, and I used to get mad at you because I'm like, what does that even mean? Love myself more? Like I go get my nails done, I go get my hair done, I go, it's like no, it's more than that. And what I've learned through therapy, with my therapist is the boundaries. It's the
Mhm.
boundaries of saying no,
Mhm.
saying yes, meaning saying yes to the people that make you feel good and saying no to the people that don't, or the experiences, or the substances, or the whatever that is for you. And I think we just have to continue to listen to our
Mhm.
intuition and really tap in and tune in. And that's why going within is so important.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, boundaries and self-esteem, go very much in tandem. Having have healthier boundaries, you can have healthier relationships, and having an intact self-esteem, which means you hold yourself warmly, you're compassionate to yourself, you're nurturing yourself,
Mhm.
right? You're not getting the harsh critic out and beating up yourself. You're allowing a warmth and a tenderness. And most of us, I'm going to say most of us, from our parenting, maybe some of that was there was some deficits in there. And so we need to learn to reparent. And
Yeah.
that's part of the nurturing, the loving ourselves, right?
Yeah, and in saying that regarding the parenting, it's not that it was our parents' faults. You know, our
No,
parents
no,
only had a certain amount of consciousness. Just like
yeah,
as we evolve, as we age, we get wiser. And the
yeah,
consciousness on the planet is rising more and more and more. We're seeing all the aspects of the dark, the chaos, but that needs
hmm
to happen in order for us to create a change, in order for us to bring that light within ourselves. So if we change ourselves, we can change the world. And I think that's a really important message for us today.
yeah. I think that's a beautiful message. Sending it out to people, right? Begins with you. Change can happen with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. That's good. Well, thank you
Mhm.
so much, Kathleen, for joining me today. It's been an honor sitting with you as always, and look forward to chatting with you again.
Yeah, I do too. Thank you so much. It was great to have this inaugural launch of your channel here. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you for
Thank
inviting.
you. We'll talk to you soon.